I'd like to ask you about the operations fund.
Mhm.
So you said that the operations fund every year we spend between 5 and 5.5 million out of our operations
Yep.
fund, and again, those are for things like um, transportation expenses, non-teaching staff, maintenance needs, and so on.
Yes.
Um, we bring in, you said, about $2.2 million per year from local property taxes before the cuts. But now
Before the cuts.
now that we're seeing these cuts, Senate Enrolled Act 1, we are looking at, by 2028, 1.5 million less.
Yes.
So we're going from 2.2 million to about 0.7 million in property tax revenue.
Yeah.
And when we know that we can only pull about $3 million from the education fund to supplement that, now we're only at 3.7 million for costs that are looking at about 5.5 million.
Yeah. And the other factor with the operations account, that's an account that is heavily dictated by inflationary numbers. You think about everything that goes into the cost of goods. We feel it as homeowners at home, just with the cost of goods and services. Our operations fund, it's heavily dictated by that. When you think about fuel costs, you think about maintenance. For example, a yellow bus now costs $150,000 to $180,000 per bus to buy.
Mm-hmm.
A minibus costs about $125,000 to buy, and so that creates a challenge for us. And we also try to give pay raises to our custodians and those other clerical staff members that we pay out of that as well. And that makes it very, very tough to be able to do any of that when you have that funding shortfall.
So with a funding shortfall of somewhere around $1.8 million, you guys are really trying to figure out how to tighten the belt.
Yeah.
But at some point, $1.8 million is $1.8 million.
It is.
And so what is the solution to the funding crisis beyond just cutting staff and cutting services?
We've analyzed our operations budget. We really can't cut anything else at this point in time. I mean, I might be able to cut $200,000 maybe out of the operations budget from staffing and other areas, but that's going to put us in a bad position from a staffing position, and so we don't want to do that. The next big thing at that point in time, the big chunk that comes out of the operations fund is transportation, student transportation, which is $1.2 million. So that is on the table at this point in time is are we going to be able to afford to continue to provide student transportation long term? That's the only item that we can cut from that budget. It would make up about $1 million a year of savings, roughly anywhere from $800,000 to $1.2 million of savings per year, because there would still be some transportation, but we wouldn't provide it all the way around. And so those are things we got to look at. We're looking at our operating referendum that we're going to be going for. What's the amount that we need to go for in order to make up this shortfall? That operating referendum will allow us to hopefully pull back on having to transfer 15% from the ed fund to the ops fund, which if we can get a higher percentage back into the ed fund, that allows us to continue to have the staffing that we need, provide raises to teachers that we need to be providing for them, and looking at that benefit package for our teachers. So it's definitely a juggling act for us at this point in time, seeing what is the least impactful to our students and staff. But at the end of the day, when you cut $1 million plus out of your budget, you're going to have impacts to students and families. I mean, there's just no way around it.